Hey everybody, it's the Captain here, and this is a video request. And if you have a question or need consultation, would like a video requested or something done, or if it's more of a private nature and you obviously don't want the video filmed and thrown all over the YouTube, you have private consultation, go to assholeconsulting.com, look at the services, see what I consult on, which is pretty much anything and everything as long as you pay me. So today I got a video request from Evan, and Evan writes, "Hi Aaron, I have a question about my career and what I should do next. To give you a brief background, I'm a single guy with no kids in my early 30s that has a BA degree in political science. I know, completely fucking useless. Yes, it is. I'm currently working as a real estate agent in new home sales in California. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I am on track to make just under $100,000 this year if I continue at the pace I'm going. The problem, I hate my fucking job. I hate everything about it. The management at my company is made up of people who, quite frankly, are completely incompetent and couldn't do my job if their life depended on it. Yet they tell me what to do and how to do it and make money off of my hard work. I hate my job, and it's come to the point where the only thing I have to look forward to is my paycheck and my 2 days off a week. The problem is that money is just good, and the money is just good enough where I'm afraid to quit because I don't think I'll be able to make this kind of money and benefits if I work for myself. In addition, I'm not even sure what I want to do. I've thought about going into real estate resale, property management, but there are downsides to both of those options. I've also thought about getting out of the real estate industry completely and going into a different field, but I'm not sure which direction to go. What do you think the best kinds of jobs in sales? Right now I have a real estate license as well as a health life insurance license. Do you recommend getting any other types of professional licenses in regard to sales jobs? What do you think about Series 6, 7, 66, etc.? Also, how do you know when it is time to quit a job? I imagine one day I'll wake up and just won't be able to get myself out of bed and go to work, and I'll have no other choice but to quit. But I don't want to come to that. One more thing, I have about $85,000 in liquid assets saved up right now. What do you recommend I do with this money? I've considered buying a condo with cash and then just work part-time with a minimalist lifestyle. What jobs do you recommend that are good for part-time or seasonal work? I was thinking something like working as a tax preparer for the year, taking the rest of the year off. That was one thing I was saying. I fucking hate California and living in this state. The taxes are ridiculous and the people here are batshit insane. So I'd also consider using that money to move to another state and just start out. Thanks for your advice. All right, there's a lot of questions here, so let's take this top down here, and then I'll go into individual things. $100,000 is nothing to sneeze at, and even if it is California and cost of living are higher out there, that's not bad coin at all. And if you can just knock that out for 3 years, saving your pennies and dimes, you're going to make the next 30 years a lot easier. So what I recommend you and everyone else do, and I had to do this myself, is you gotta learn to not care, to completely let go. It's not about ego or pride or even justice. It's completely unfair. It's completely unjust. You're gonna run into psychopaths, and no matter where you go, there's gonna be idiots and assholes and crazy people. You just gotta. It's not a job. It's not a career. It's just a place you go to forfeit your time, and they give you money in exchange. And if you look at it from that standpoint, I'm giving up time. 1 second in your life is no more valuable than the next. 1 second is the same. So now you're giving up whatever time, and whatever they use your time for, it doesn't matter. Like, I worked at this credit union, and I was essentially the chief risk officer, and they were so piss poorly managed. They had me scanning in documents. And by this time I had the epiphany and realized it doesn't matter if this is beneath me. It doesn't matter if I'm being challenged. I'm either going to be sitting on my ass at the desk doing this, or I'm going to be scanning, or I'm going to be doing something else. I'll be cleaning toilets. It doesn't matter. So try, and people try to ignore them. Try to ignore what they're using your time for. Yes, they're making money off of you. Everyone's going to make money off of you. That's how businesses work. They make money off of the employees. But you're making pretty good money yourself. As long as they're not asking you to do like 80 hours a week, or you have no life, there's going to be actual other consequences. But if this is just a 9 to 5, you're knocking out maybe 50 hours a week with this, and you're making $100,000. Think of it this way: you can try and find another job where you're going to run into the exact same idiots and assholes and douchebags and asswipes, and the problem's never going to go away, or you knock it out 3 years, save up all your money, and then get the fuck out of Dodge and never have to deal with these people ever again. I think that's kind of where you're going with the part-time work and stuff like that. So that's the first thing I would do. See if you can't let it all go. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about the justice. Don't worry about whether you're doing your best or whether they're really challenging you. Fuck it. Doesn't no one is going to challenge you enough except for yourself. That's the only self-employment is the only time you're ever going to give yourself a straight deal. So again, try and let the water go off your back. Don't worry about these people. Don't worry about how stupid they are. Just collect your fucking paycheck. And if you could tune out and zone out and not get worked up about it, make things go a lot easier. Okay, what I think the best kind of jobs in sales? It depends on you. There are people, it really is a personality thing. It really depends. And it sounds like you got it. Like if you could sell real estate, you're doing pretty well if you're almost clearing 100,000. So, you got your insurance license. You could get a Series 6 or Series 7 or Series 66. But boy, that certification and licensure is just a pain in the ass. I'd avoid the financial services industry altogether because of the regulation. I mean, if you think real estate is regulated, wait till you get to finance and investments. It just isn't worth it. And those Series 6 and 7, the 66 is the most mind-numbing legal bullshit. It isn't even interesting financial stuff. It's just legal crap. Like, not even Dodd-Frank. What was it? Oh, I can't remember. So, I don't know, you're making $100,000 now. Yeah, maybe like do a part-time sales job, something on the internet that you can do. That might lead into something down the road if you want to go part-time work. But, yeah, you would know what better sales jobs are than I would. I just would avoid that financial services industry. Their egos are so... You think real estate has egos, wait till you get to finance. So, yeah, just maybe put another fishing line out there, do some part-time sales, something over the internet, and I don't know. But maybe that will sprout leaves down the road and be something that you can capitalize on down at that time. But in the meantime, yeah, don't like quit your job and then go find try and psychologically adjust yourself. I just want to make sure I'm being thorough. 85,000 in liquid saved up. That's pretty good, dude. What I recommend you do with that money, I would consider buying a condo with cash and just working part-time, living a minimalist lifestyle. Not the worst idea. Yeah, definitely get the fuck out of California. I go like Utah, Nevada, the Dakotas, any place where there's not income tax. Texas, Florida. I personally would almost recommend Las Vegas because I really enjoy that town and it's close enough to California. You could go visit your family and friends. But the thing with the condo, though, is then you get the risk that you're going to have to pay homeowner association fees. They're mismanaged. Also, you have to worry about what if you want to move again? Now you got to sell your condo. Well, if you buy a really, really small one, that's fine. Otherwise, I recommend a single guy like you, just get a studio apartment and have that cash, move that cash along with you. Have it invested in somewhat liquid assets. I can't give you specific investment advice, but have some of it so it doesn't lose something against inflation. That's your primary concern. But yeah, you could invest it in that. And I don't mean to sound I'm so anti-buy a condo. It's just that you're young. You could decide to travel to Taiwan. You could get a great job offer out in Texas, and now you're stuck with this condo. Now you could rent it out, sure. But if you are going to buy a condo, make sure you can rent it out. In the meantime, if you don't know if you're going to be at this place for a long time, I'd recommend just getting as cheap as you possibly can, a studio apartment, just living there. I lived in a studio apartment. It was great. Just had a futon. Didn't even have a bed, just a futon, one fork, one bowl, one spoon, one knife, one cup, one plate, microwave, and you are golden. But as an investment itself, that may not be the worst thing. That would hedge technically against inflation. But wherever it is, yeah, get the fuck out of California. I go travel the West a little bit, see what towns, what states you kind of like. I think Utah is beautiful, but not a lot out there, except for, I'm talking people and culture-wise. Now everyone from Utah is going to get, oh, we got that, we got that. I'm just saying, it ain't no Los Angeles or Las Vegas. And then good for part-time or seasonal work. Yeah, you could do tax preparation if you seem to have the mind for it. Tax prep is one thing. You're going to probably want to get a CPA. Don't know if that's worth your part-time work. Otherwise, I don't know. Look into what I always wanted to do was looking into road construction. That's seasonal. And, but ideally what I would say is if you can get some kind of sales job online, and you don't have to be anywhere, like it's just all, from your house or your desk, from your laptop, I'd almost stick with the sales thing because it seems like you're good at it. But at the same time, if you're looking for some part-time stuff, go see if you do. It's going to be labor. That's the problem with seasonal work. It's usually labor-based because it's during summer. Or it's winter where you're out there in the snow and the cold and you're plowing. It's just not. It's not exciting or fun, but it'll get you outside. One more thing I want to say: fucking hate California people in the state. Taxes are ridiculous. People are batshit insane. Yeah, so I told you the states that I kind of like. Anyway, you're doing quite well. You're doing actually way better than most people with a BA in political science. And I would just work up that money. You know what? Yeah, probably buy the condo because then at least you have a home base to go to, and that will really cut down on your expenses. You only have heat, homeowners association, and taxes and utility. So you pay that off. Just pay cash for it. Just some small place. That's all you need. And then, even if you don't live in it, you find a job somewhere else, you can rent it out, and it's not that big of a deal. But it would be a ticket to freedom. The real thing is that you're going to have to control spending. That's the key thing. If this is driving you that nuts, work the 3 years, make your money, but then realize the less you spend, the less you have to go and work for these guys. So if you can just cut it down to the minimum, just the basics. Don't get a car lease. Don't get a fancy car. Just get, a car that goes from here to there. That's all you need. Don't worry about the girls and what they think. It doesn't matter. That cash reserve you have plus the extra cash you'd have coming in the next couple of years. Here's the other thing that I want to point out before I forget. Real estate can collapse, as I'm sure you're very well aware of, because it did back in 2008. And California especially is prone to real estate collapses and bubbles. So I would not even rely on that job being there or being that productive or fruitful, bringing in 6 figures a year. I would almost say that compels you to find kind of a part-time sales job on your own through the internet somehow. So that's what I would recommend. You almost do that ASAP immediately. And then what's great is after let's say you work another year and there's just getting these assholes and douches you got to deal with, they just become intolerable. You know what? You got your part-time sales job. It maybe makes $20,000 a year. By that time, you built up maybe $120,000. You could buy some small little dinky place over in Las Vegas or some place. It doesn't have to be Vegas. And you go out there, and it's you're free. You get to do what you want. I would almost spend a little bit of time in St. George because you can hit southern Utah and do a ton of hiking out in that area. Not as exciting as Vegas, but it's something to consider. Anyway, hope that helps. Try to ignore it. Try to do that fucking Zen Buddha bullshit, whatever you got to do, because it's going to make things go a lot easier. And look long term. That's the thing. I know it sucks now. Just think long term. And if you can abide the assholes and ignore them, your future's going to be a hell of a lot easier, a hell of a lot nicer. Toodles.